Mia Fey, my love.
She's special to you, Diego Armando.
Did I hear the defense correctly? Are you him?
The last time somebody called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
This all goes back to an infamous case, and a trial that ended in the defendant's suicide in the courtroom. You stood beside Mia as she made her arguments, but in the end, she was unable to find proof of Dahlia Hawthorne's crimes.
After all that went down, we went over every detail of that fake kidnapping case with a fine-toothed comb. The way she treated her clients came from her kind and pure heart. I was captivated by her. We were still poring over that case when I asked Dahlia Hawthorne to meet me at the cafeteria right here in this courthouse. Next thing I knew, I was going into a deep sleep. The poison I was given did a real number on me. I lost my sight, and my hair turned as white as cream. 5 years later, I was awoken by the smell of fresh brewed coffee, and then I got a real wake-up call. The woman I loved had been murdered. She was gone forever. And the woman I loathed had been sentenced to die in the Iron Bar Hotel. There was no way I could go back to sleep. I had two things keeping me up. They're what drove me to become a prosecutor. The first one was you, trite.
Why me?
Because you're the one who let Mia Fey die! She'd still be alive if you weren't such an immature child. I wanted the whole world to know what kind of a man you really were. And my other reason to go on living was Maya Fey. She was the only way I could atone for the sin of not being there for Mia. After the incident at Karine Village last year, Morgan Fey was arrested, but it was obvious she'd still be plotting something. I listened to the conversations she had with her visitors, hoping she'd let something slip. That's when I learned there was actually a written plan. I found it before Pearl could read its bone-chilling details. Instead of destroying it right then and there, I thought playing along might be a better strategy. If I could pull it off, this would end once and for all. But I realized I couldn't do it alone. So I asked for help from Iris because she would be there at Hazakura Temple. I also contacted Misty Fey. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements since the DL6 incident years ago. And due to my newfound position at the prosecutor's office, I was able to access that info. Then finally, the call came in from Iris. I rushed to the temple as quickly as I could. The only way we could stop their evil plan from happening was to make sure Pearl didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
I see, and that must be the reason Misty invited little Pearl to come up to her room that night.
Unfortunately, she never showed up.
She went to the inner temple instead.
That's why Misty had to channel Dahlia herself into her own body, a risk she was forced to take.
Because if she channeled the spirit first, then Pearl wouldn't be able to do it.
Still, if things went sideways, I would have to stop Dahlia myself. So I hid over by the inner temple. Anyway, that's about all I'm gonna say at this point.